Whenever you're ready.
I'm Joe Eller. After 4 years, 17 weeks, and 1 day as an 11 Charlie, I am now a director of operations at an aerospace machining company, and this is my story.
Oh yeah, bro.
5 tweakers on my way back to the hotel. And then I saw that you posted that you were in Philly, and I'm like, get the fuck out of here. So I started messaging you, because I don't have your cell phone number, so I started messaging you. I commented, and I'm like, let's get together, dude. And then I'm like, is there a way to do like Facebook calling? Because I don't do the social media stuff very much, or I'm trying to be better about it.
Yeah.
And so I saw you could do the calling, so I called you. You didn't pick up. And I'm like, fuck. What do I do? And I'm like, I'll text Banjo. I'm like, Banjo, send me Pete's number, motherfucker. He didn't respond. And then my phone died. And I'm like, fuck. So I woke up this morning and I went and sat in my truck so my phone could turn on. That's nice. When I got back to you.
Well, definitely appreciate it. I mean, I was fucking racked out last night. I got hammered from the wedding on Friday. And just yesterday, I forced myself to go be a tourist because I was like, all right, I'm here.
Might as well go see
now
some shit.
I'm not going to brunch with everybody. I didn't get the invite to brunch, so I was like, all right, I'll just go by myself.
Yeah.
But and I knew I just didn't plan anything because I thought I was gonna be busy the whole weekend.
Yeah.
On this, and plus, not maybe next year, but probably 2027 when the snow melts, I'm gonna probably come across Michigan up into Canada, into Maine.
Up in the UP?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And then cross into Canada over to Maine, and then come down the East Coast. And make it a point of all right, where are you? Where are you? Where
Dude,
are you?
You should, man.
I actually hit up everybody because it's tough. It's tough for everybody. You guys got kids. Everybody's traveling. I'm the
kids?
vagabond. No. I just had those stepkids.
Yeah.
After that, I was divorced, no more kids. But yeah, so.
I'm glad that you can laugh that off. I listened to the first episode. I'm glad that you can laugh that off.
Bro.
Because I know what you were thinking, because you came into work that day. I'm like, motherfucker, what are you doing getting married, dude?
No, that's great.
It was.
So yeah, I'm gonna just kind of start with an introduction, and then if you wanna, we'll probably record your close up of just that after da 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 da. This is now I'm da da da. Just the quick thing that I did at the beginning of the podcast.
Okay.
I'll record that after. But I'll start right now. But welcome back to the After That Now What podcast. Here I am with Joseph D. Eller. Welcome, brother.
Thank you.
I haven't seen you in 12 years.
Has it been 12?
12 years. The last time we saw each other was in Afghanistan, and you bounced.
I did. Yeah.
You bounced.
I ETS quick.
Yep. And after that, we really just kind of had this, I think, and we had talked about it before, I think, of nobody feels any type of way about people getting out, but maybe when you're getting out, you feel that people feel some type of way about you getting out, Oh,
I felt super insecure, man.
Yeah.
Super insecure. Especially just the way that it lined up is that the day I left Afghanistan it wasn't 60 days later and I was out. So I got back, sleep for a day. Okay, now you're doing your ETS. I don't even remember what the process was called back then.
Yeah.
And then I was ETSing.
Yeah.
And so I felt super insecure because it felt stupid, man. A whole helicopter came and picked me up at the cop just for me. I'm like, see you later, guys.
Yeah.
So on the outside, I was like, fucking love you guys, but on the inside, I was like, fuck, am I leaving them?
Yeah.
And that was hard for me to get over. It definitely was.
Well, I think, and I won't bring up any, skip it if you don't want to talk about it. But I remember, and maybe he'll watch this, Starno Gilletta being kind of a dick.
Oh, dude, he was, man. But but I love that dude, man. He was there for my entire career, Bliss. Like we reported at the same time, and so he got to watch me, go from a stupid fucking private to a stupid fucking sergeant, and that was really cool. Like he pinned my stripes, and it was very disappointing, I think, to him and to me when I decided I wasn't gonna re-enlist.
Yeah.
And he thought that I was going to, and I didn't lead the process on. I had full intentions of it, but then when there was no cool duty station to go to, I was like, well, fuck it, I'll just get out and go do college, which was hard.
Yeah. And there wasn't, I remember, I think I only re-enlisted for like $3,000. It wasn't like a big bonus time either until I convinced you. it was like here's some shitty duty stations that you might have to deploy a bunch again.
And he tried to tell me too, he's like, go to a shitty duty station and then you can go wherever you want. And I'm like, well, that's what they said when I got here to El Paso.
And now I did my shitty time.
Now all I got is bulk. So.
No, and then so when you got back, do you remember going through any classes on like trying to figure out what you were gonna do when you were getting out, or was it set up like that?
Yeah, there was a couple of classes where you did like resume building, and stuff like that, and I remember being in there there's a couple officers, but the only other enlisted guys, the only other NCOs were like mechanics. And they had already had like job offers and shit like that. For, like good jobs. And at Sikorsky, and I'm like, fuck, man, I don't know how to do anything. Just because there was no other option. Like there were options, but personally the only option for me was infantry. That's all I was gonna do. My dad, who was an officer, was like, go to college first, become an officer. You make more money while you're in. I'm like, fuck that. No way. And then decent ASVAB score, so I had a lot of options, but it was just like, well, infantry. That's all I want. But it really hit me when those guys were like, I don't really give a fuck about this class. I already got a job. I'm like, fuck, I think I should give a shit about this class because I don't have a job.
I definitely, for my personal experience in that was, I remember one of the times with the VA guy coming in, and he was like, and he was serious. He was like, all right, listen, if anybody right now doesn't have a place to live when you get out, you need to raise your hand right now. And I looked around, is it really just me? I'm like, oh, man, come on. And he was like, all right, bud, we'll figure this out. I was like, because I didn't. I really, when I left, everything got sold back home, and that was it. There wasn't a go back to anywhere, so it was like, shit, what do you do? But, so then, in your process of getting out, how long did it take to get resumes in and actually land your first?
Well, I got out, I had a ton of terminal leave. So I think I was on terminal leave for like 8 weeks. And that was cool. And my parents were living in Turkey at the time.
Oh, wow.
For my dad's job, but they kept their house in Connecticut. So I just lived at their house. And then I started going to a community college and using post 9/11 GI Bill. So I was getting paid to go to free school. I'm like, oh, this is fucking shit.
No, that's the best.
So I started, I picked up fly fishing, and that was definitely like my transition piece. Like that helped me. Because I hated going to school because I was, 22, so still relatively young, but I was in classes with 18-year-olds trying to talk about how the fucking world spins. And I'm like, oh my God, this is not for me. What did I do? I never should have gotten out. But I just fished, dude, and fished hard.
Nice.
And then my first job, I did paving.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, construction work.
Fuck.
That was a shit show. That was a shit show. I specifically remember my foreman saying, if I wasn't a veteran, I'd be fired by now. And that was like 3 weeks in. Yeah, I was not good at paving.
Did you say that you could before you got the job, or was it like?
No, I told him I don't know shit.
Oh, okay.
He's like, show up in jeans and boots tomorrow and let's get to work.
Alright.
We'll teach you how to do it.
Yeah.
And by the end of that summer, I was like, hey, you want me to go to like a part-time schedule while I'm in school? He's like, don't quit college. I'm like, fuck. Damn.
It's funny. It's usually the opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's funny though. And then you started school. Did you have a plan on what you wanted to go into for school?
Not a clue. No. If you'd have asked me during that time what I was going to do with my life, I was going to be a career hunting and fishing guide in Montana. That was my goal. My parents were born and raised in Montana. I've been going out there my whole life, and I was like, that's where I need to be. That's where I need to get to. And I wanted to get involved with Project Healing Waters.
Okay.
Which is, I don't know if you've heard of that.
No,
it's a bunch of collective guides across the country that take vets out on fly fishing trips.
Nice.
And they'll do like multi-day trips where you're going down like the Smith River in Montana, doing like 5-day trips, and a couple of guys out there even modified some drift boats to accommodate wheelchairs and stuff like that.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, it's a really cool program.
Nice.
And so I really wanted to do that. So in that spring of 2014, I used a portion of my GI Bill to go to guide school out in Montana and get my certification. And so I did that, and then submitted a packet to transfer to the University of Montana in Missoula.
Oh, okay.
And I got accepted into college there. Because I started off at a community college.
Okay.
And then got accepted to the University of Montana, and then nearly fished my way right out of college.
Yeah.
But no, I had no idea what I wanted to do. I was like, maybe I'll be a math teacher. And then I got into math classes because my mom was a math teacher.
Yeah.
And I got into math classes. I was like, oh, this fucking sucks. I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
Right?
Hey, you never know until you
No.
get there, though. That's
You don't.
For sure. That's sick, though. And then you were in Montana for how long then?
I was in Montana for a year and a half because my mom actually got sick. She got end-stage liver disease.
Oh, shit.
So I quit school and went and took care of her for 8 months because she couldn't. My parents were in Southern California at that time, moved back from Turkey. They're in Southern California, and you couldn't be on the transplant list without one of the boxes you have to check is 2 full-time caregivers. So Emily and I moved down there from Montana, and we were her full-time caregivers. And she kept progressively getting worse and worse and worse, and then she got better a little bit, and that bumped up that lowered her MELD score, which is like the criteria for transplant.
Right.
And she went back lower on the list, and we're like, fuck, we're never going to be able to get her a transplant here. So we ended up moving to Detroit because, that's the heartland, they call it, and there's a lot more donors and things like that in the Midwest. And so we got her on the transplant list, and I left school at this point, middle of my 3rd semester at University of Montana. And we got her on the transplant list. 2 weeks later, they called us, like, rotor's up, let's fucking go. We got to do this transplant. I'm like, okay. So we got her packed up. We pulled into the parking lot, and they called us and like, hey, cardiologist missed it. There's a hole in her heart. They're like, it's going to happen, so we'll admit her. We'll get this evaluated, make sure she's safe.
Yeah.
And then we'll the next liver that comes in, as long as it's a match, we'll give it to her.
Yeah. And
she contracted pneumonia, and 11 days later, she passed away.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That's rough.
Yeah. It was 8 months, but it felt like it went by like that. It was really...
Yeah. Now, when you're in, like, a constant care like that, and knowing the inevitable that could be there.
Hard to stay
and
motivated.
Just had that chance. That sucks, dude.
Yeah. It wasn't very much fun.
Yeah.
So, and then right at the same time, Emily and I found out we were pregnant.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, we were like, okay, do we go back to Montana? I'll finish school, keep guiding, do what I want to do.
Yeah.
And I had to have a quick gut check of like, oh shit, that's not a way to raise a family. We probably shouldn't go do that. So we moved back to Connecticut where we had a support system. Emily's family.
Yeah.
And I wasn't going back to school. I just got a job doing NDT. So non-destructive testing. I was doing X-ray, right?
Okay.
So
Okay.
aircraft parts and things like that, they all get X-rayed to make sure that there's no internal defects.
Okay.
So I started doing that. Used another week in my post 9/11 GI Bill to go pay for that,
Okay.
and started working at a company called PCC, the foundry I was telling you about.
Okay.
And after like 3 months, I was like, this sucks.
Yeah.
Picking up these big parts, putting them on the table, like
Yeah.
I have to be getting exposed to some level of radiation.
Oh yeah.
But after 3 months, they promoted me to shift lead, and then
Okay.
30 days after that, they made me a supervisor, and now I'm on the operations path.
Nice.
So
Nice.
it's been pretty good. And finished my degree online.
Oh,
So
nice.
3 schools in 9 years.
Hey, you did it.
Finally get it.
You
And
did
those 2 weeks I talked about that I used for the certifications, I had to fucking pay cash for that at the end. So
Ah, man.
yeah.
Well, now we got an extra. I just added 12 months.
Oh really?
Yeah.
No
we
way.
all got a 12-month refresher. Whoever used up what we already had. 'Cause I have like,
I'll have to do that.
I think I have whatever it works out to be one semester, but they added a whole 12 months to try to get people master's programs and stuff.
Yeah, I'm working on my packet for MBA right now.
Yeah, look into it because I think that's what I was looking at for when I was like corporate
Yeah.
world going. That's what I was looking at going was the MBA, and a lot of the schools too with the Yellow Ribbon program.
Mhm.
If you looked at that, it's like even without GI Bill, they'll just cover
Yeah.
the school for the master's programs. There's a couple other like the school I was looking at going was DU, and they offered an extra program for all the vets that was
Gotcha.
like as long as you get accepted, it's all paid for.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But I want to say thank you to our first and only sponsor currently, VeteranPeptide.com. Are you ready to feel like your best self again? Whether you're battling nagging injuries, trying to shed a few pounds, build lean muscle, or just want younger, healthier looking skin, Veteran Peptide is here for you. We're not just another supplement company, we're veteran owned and operated, and we know what it means to serve with integrity, discipline, and results you can trust. That's why we're committed to providing pharmaceutical grade peptides at unbeatable prices, because high performance shouldn't come with a high price tag. From recovery to rejuvenation, our peptides are designed to help you take control of your health, optimize your performance, and feel confident in your body again. Every product we offer is backed by science, crafted with care, shipped with the mission first mindset that defines who we are. And here's something we're especially proud of. A portion of every purchase goes directly to veteran nonprofits, so when you shop with us, you're not just investing in yourself, you're giving back to those who've served. Join the thousands who trust Veteran Peptide for quality, affordability, and results that speak for themselves. Because when you feel great, you perform great. Visit VeteranPeptide.com today and take the first step toward the best version of you. Thank you. So yeah, after got out, got into the workforce, got back into Connecticut,
Yeah.
had some kids,
2 of them.
2 kids.
Yeah.
Nice, how's that going?
Oh, they're heavy metal, dude.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're just. My son is like the stubbornness of my wife, but like the energy level of me.
Nice.
I'm just a psycho, dude. I just love to run and play and be outside and have fun, and so
Yeah.
does he. And then my daughter is her. So my son's name is Braden, after Arsenal.
Oh shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
Cool. Well, he and I, when we were in Iraq, we made a pact in Guard Tower 3.
Yeah.
We were on like we were doing 8-hour shifts at that time, and it fucking sucked.
Yeah.
And we were just talking like, oh man, you're my fucking best friend, dude. I love you so much.
Yeah.
We should name our firstborns after each other.
Yeah.
And he's like, fuck yeah, we should. And I did.
He did it.
So he had a daughter, the first.
Okay.
And he lives like 20 minutes away from me. We see
Yeah.
each other all the time. Go duck hunting every year.
Nice.
Yeah, he's
Nice.
we're really close. But he had a daughter first. I'm like, Josephine? And he's like, nah, I'm not. We can't do that. And I was like, okay, I'll give you a pass on this one. And then his second kid, he had a son, and I'm like, all right. And he named him Jackson. He's like, oh, I got you the J. I'm like, that doesn't count, dude. So, yeah, my son's name is Braden. He's 7. Just turned 7 in February. And then my daughter, Brooke, is 3.5.
Nice.
And she's just a sweet pea.
That's a great spread.
It is.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. And boy first, girl second.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, first time go, man.
Yeah. Nice.
Knocked it out.
Yeah. The man, I remember we were talking about, I gotta get this out, but we were talking about Sergeant Trelita. One of the things that I distinctly remember, such a stupid memory, but
The You're His Long Lost Kid?
well, that too.
Yeah.
And now I gotta post a picture up
Yeah.
if I had in my head. But don't we look alike? Now that I cut my hair too.
Yeah.
But the stupid thing of him wanting Carrabba's and you telling him that we have Carrabba's and you sending him to Johnny Carino.
Yeah. He was so pissed.
He was so mad.
Yeah. He came in that Monday. He's like, get over here, dick cheese. Wasn't a fucking Carrabba's. It's Johnny Carino's. Like, oh shit. It's the same thing though, right?
It's
Yeah.
the same thing.
God, that was funny, man.
But yeah,
I love those little memories like that about our time in the military, though. I think of a lot of funny stuff. Just like mostly those stupid conversations like that.
Oh yeah.
That, or Banjo asking me some like philosophical question. I'm like, I don't fucking know, Banjo.
At like 2 a.m. on
Yeah.
a guard shift. Yeah. Like, yeah, Banjo. Fucking CQ all night.
God,
Banjo
Johnny
was
Carino,
running it.
that was so funny.
It was so funny. But, and then, I don't know. I don't know how you feel about him now, or if you've talked to him about Sergeant Smith.
No, I haven't. I haven't talked to him. He ended up in Colorado, didn't he?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was on a platoon like release run, so I was doing my own thing, and he was still being him. So he had his platoon like dress running.
Get some.
And I was like, oh shit, Smitty!
Yeah.
He's like, oh, you get the fuck! He
Yeah.
just immediately went in. It's like,
Yeah.
what's up, man?
He was so smart. I didn't realize it at the time, probably because I was so stupid. But that man is incredibly smart.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like when he would do FDC and stuff like that, I was just like, all right, cool. Like,
Yeah.
give me the shit so we can go shoot it. But like
Yeah.
he was incredible with it.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of us learned FTC just to know exactly just the steps, but he actually understood it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was like, oh, okay. And I'm like, yeah, I can turn a wheel.
Mm-hmm.
But
Did you go to MLOC?
nah, never
Arsenal
did. Yeah.
He went to MLOC and passed.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. That's good. Yeah, didn't he go to drill too?
Yeah, he was a drill sergeant in the National Guard. Did a couple rotations of that, and then I think he just wasn't terribly happy with his unit, so decided to get out.
Yeah.
He works for the government now. Now he inspects submarines.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he's like a quality control specialist for submarines on the naval base in Groton.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So
Nice.
he's the one who says like, yep, this submarine's good to go.
Oh yeah. That's sick. Yeah, I'll have to have him on when I come through, or if I get invited to another wedding.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get everybody together. But the what was I saying with the getting out, and then do you have any like what would you tell yourself? We'll start at the beginning before you come into the Army.
Mm-hmm.
If there's one thing you would tell yourself about, what you would have done differently, or what you did do that you would recommend for other people, and be like, yo, Joe, do this still. I did this, it worked.
Like in the military?
Yeah.
I
We'll
think
start there.
if I was talking to my younger self about time in the military, I'd say, don't have any expectations. Just live it while you're there.
Yeah.
And
I get that.
don't be such or focus more of your time on the relationships that you're building in it.
Yeah.
Because it's so fucking cool, man. Like you never get to experience anything like that ever again.
No. And I'll add on that, in the same respect, take pictures.
Dude, I didn't
we
take
did not take any pictures.
I have
like 3 pictures from deployment.
Yeah, I've got the one where we all started growing mustaches and we're standing in front of the Connex box. I've got that one, and then I've got the one that you took of me when we were doing a mission and you and I set up with the M14s on a ridge next to A&A base hut,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And the rest of, I think it was first platoon, took the trucks down, and then they were walking up the hillside, and we met them on the other side of the ridge.
Yep.
I have that picture that you took of me, and then that's it, dude.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of videos from when we did some harass and interdict missions on the 120.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's really it.
Yeah.
I don't have much. I don't have any from Iraq.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I look, and the other platoons were a little bit better at it than us. We just didn't take pictures.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
the one platoon, they post pictures all the time of our deployment. I'm like,
yeah.
fuck, why didn't we take pictures?
Yeah.
But, and I think, I mean,
The biggest thing for me is that I don't have anything to show my kids.
yeah.
Like at the time, I was like, yeah, I experienced it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
I don't need
exactly.
anything else, man. I don't need the pictures.
It's all
like,
up here.
yeah. And then, but now I'm like, you know, especially my son turning 7, he's asking me about the Army.
Yeah.
Thinks it's cool, wants to play Army.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, dude, let's go do a police call in the front yard, man. We gotta pick up toys. Like, we'll play Army real quick. But
Let's go mop the sidewalk.
But he, you know, I don't have a lot of pictures to show them. And
Yeah.
now that's a big regret. And then I tell anybody, it's like, take pictures.
Yeah, take the fucking pictures, man. And then for sure stay in contact. I think all of us have this. I feel like we've all done it. There's a few that like you and Braden, you know, have stayed in contact forever and
Yeah.
talk to each other, live super close. But
Yeah.
like a lot of us, and I feel bad. Sergeant Archuleta, because he invited me up to his house when I was in Colorado Springs. And I
Oh, really?
went.
You never went? Oh,
I need to go, and I need to find where everybody's at, for sure.
Yeah.
And be able to.
The last
And
time
I'm hoping that that's what the podcast does.
So I
Everybody up
think the last time I talked to Sergeant Archuleta was a text message, I think, or at least this is the last time I can remember, and it was when Arsenal got out. He ETS moved back and from Hawaii, and we took a selfie, and I sent it. We sent it
Yeah.
to Sergeant Archuleta,
Yeah.
and we said, "We're back," and he just goes, "Gay."
Yeah,
That's it.
Yeah.
Not like, "Hey, how you guys doing?" You know,
Oh, come
just-
on, but
just-
that's the most heartfelt thing
Oh,
from him.
Yeah. Yeah, big time.
No,
And I still every once in a while I call Sergeant Calzada.
yeah.
Yeah, just check in on him. Usually it's when like I'm in the truck and I'm commuting or something like that, and I'll like be going to call my wife, so I'll be scrolling through the contacts and I'll see Calzada. I'm like, oh fuck yeah. But he's working in manufacturing too. He works at a plastics factory down in down in Texas.
Nice. Yeah, I'll have to hit him up too. I definitely we stayed in contact on Facebook for a while, and just by moving around, and then
Yeah.
now that I'm mobile as could be, like now it's like, all right,
Dude, go connect, man.
You see everybody. But yeah, so then, getting out of the Army, if you were to have one piece of advice for the folks, for your time, it doesn't have to be like measured up to 2025 standards or anything, but like what would you tell yourself getting out that could maybe guide you a little bit better what you know now?
I'd say find something to occupy your mind, your hands.
Yeah.
Because like I dove into fly fishing and it really helped me.
Yeah.
Really did.
Yeah.
Not that like, not that I was ever in a place where like I was so upset about getting out of the military that I was like gonna hurt myself or anything, but that happens to people,
Mm-hmm.
and it's even just the loss of, just the loss of your friends and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That just find something for your mind and your hands and then just dive into it to keep you busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. couldn't agree more. And we've lost so many. I mean, it's luckily I think we're super lucky with our 6-1 guys that we haven't lost as many, but you know, other units not so lucky, and it was it's always tough. This search for identity when you're getting out and being like, you know, for me going back to school, I was like, I don't want to be a vet bro. Like that was my biggest thing. I was like, I'm not gonna be a vet bro. And then I got in and I saw the other vet bros really being vet bros in school, and I was like, that's exactly what I don't want to be. So I really separated myself with, like, didn't try to contact with vets at all, because that was my exposure to them when I got out. But
I didn't either. And there weren't a lot of vets in either one of the schools that I went to. There were a couple at the University of Montana, but really, like, my identity went to, like, a new goal, and that was I wanted to be a fishing guide, and I wanted to live in Montana, and that was like it. So, like, I was a veteran, but I'm gonna be a fishing guide now. And I'm a very goal oriented person. I need something to work to. But that's where, like, the new identity came in for me.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. And talk about a relaxing hobby to pick up. I mean, and to keep the mind going hardcore.
The nice, like, what really helps about it, and why I really wanted to get involved with taking veterans fly fishing, is, like, when you're doing it, you have to think about it, right? Like, you have to focus. Otherwise, you're gonna, like, catch a tree on your back cast, and it's gonna get stuck in the tree, and then you're just gonna start raging out, right? And I've been that guy, you know. But when you're focused on it, you're in the zone, and you're just listening to the sound of the water, and you're catching fish, and the wind's blowing. It's nice to be, like, in that zone.
Well,
really helped me a lot.
Yeah, that's great. And then I'd say all the way up to 2025 now. I mean, do you have anything that you would really, I wouldn't say change, but something that would have made life easier today in any of your adult tasks? Like, we kind of talked about, like, if it was, you know, we both qualified for more than infantry, but we both decided on infantry, you know.
Oh, I'd say something that would have made life easier, I'd probably work on school while I was in the military.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm happy to hear that now they make that a part of the NCO ranks, that you have to accomplish some level of school. But, you know, when we were in, that wasn't pushed at all.
No.
So work on school, and, you know, a bachelor's degree is worth it, because I was that guy, dude. Like, I was that guy who didn't have a degree or had some college done, and I would apply for a promotion at work, and you'd be like, but, you know, you're qualified, but you don't have a degree. And this guy is qualified, just as skilled as you, but he has a degree. And it's like, you know, and then I'd be an arrogant little shit and be like, well, what's more valuable, a piece of paper or, you know, military leadership? I'm like, well,
I was exactly the same, and I still kind of feel that way in some aspects of, like we were talking before recording, like, you know, just getting that, like, you have to start from the bottom talk, because this isn't your field, you know. Infantry didn't really line up to my molecular biology science degree, you know, and it's hard to take, you know. You put in years into something, and then for somebody to not be in that world at all, just tell you, like, oh, that doesn't mean shit here. Like, fuck. But the degree thing, and then at least get the steps going. My only, you know, I say push people to do it while they're in, but if you're going to allow them the time to do it. What I saw a problem during the 2020, and I wasn't in, but still talking to guys that were in, was they made it, like, mandatory for everybody to start online
do a
college.
certain amount of credit hours.
Because they were at home. Like, they couldn't even come in at
but
all,
then,
you know?
But then take people out to the field for 3 weeks and they can't work on school.
Exactly. And then they all, like, failed out, and they all have this on their school record now. Like, this screws them for later things. Like, GPA doesn't matter for shit like later on in life, but like getting into next programs it does. And so like it really screws people into getting into those programs. And even if like a lot of the green to gold guys, you know, if they had started the school before going to green to gold and getting some college in, you know, some of them didn't get the green to gold package pass because they screwed up a class 3 years ago when they went to the field. And it's like, well, that sucks, you know? So, but no, I couldn't agree more. But is there anything else you want to promote or talk about or anything like that?
No, man. Just, it's not, feels like the end of something big when you get out, but it's really the beginning of something new.
Hell yeah.
Something
I
else.
like that. I like that as an ending right there.
And I'm just happy to fucking see you, dude.
Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah.
Get the fuck on
camera. You should.
You're still super sweaty.
Yeah.